Hello, my name is Jeremy Jones. I am a singer, songwriter, musician based out of the Wilmington, North Carolina area. For those that do know me, you know that this is awkward as hell for me. Um, for those that don't, it's probably going to be worse. But I'm just trying to kickstart my YouTube channel and um, introduce myself and the project that I'm working on, which is currently under the moniker of Vandiford. Back in 99 2000, in between bands, I created an acoustic solo project called All Things Considered. I put out an EP, uh, sold it, pushed it, gigged it, um, and then started the band The Made Up Romance. We did that for a couple years. When that band disbanded, I then recorded some other songs and tagged it onto the end of that All Things Considered EP, and then pushed that again. Went back out, did some acoustic shows. Um, but that is essentially where this project began. Was the acoustic versions of songs that I had written under the acoustic version for Persuasion. Um, Fast forward 20 years, here comes Vandiford. So, essentially, what happened was, and this is all in a nutshell, and just kind of keeping it real quick because I don't want to be too long here, but um, I was taught how to play drums when I was 4 years old, and then guitar when I was 5 by my father. So I was taught to play music very early on in my life, and continued to do that up until I was 14 years old when I actually first started playing in my first band. Um, Things progressed from there. I've played in several bands and recorded several albums under different uh, guys since then. Um, but come 2003, I started playing drums in dueling piano bars and in the dueling piano circuit, and that kind of took over. And I stopped kind of writing and um, just kind of lived out what was going on in my life. Um, Got married, had 2 kids, and life happens. So fast forward to 2016, I started getting to the point where I knew that I really wanted to try and start again. And I would sit down with my father, who taught me how to play music, and we would sit around, we would jam, and he would consistently tell me, you know what the problem is, you don't play enough, you don't play enough, and that always sat on me because I knew what he was telling me. So in December of 2018, he passed away, um, and I've lost both my parents. So there's a lot to be processed in that. Well, in December of 2018, when my dad passed away, all I could continue to hear was that you don't play enough. You don't play enough. So from December of 2018 to December of 2019, I decided that despite my career and home life, uh, not that it was a problem, but that it was just, I have no desire to gig. I have no desire to write and play and go on the road. I've done it. It's not where I'm at this point in my life. But that I felt that I could, under the right circumstances, still create. which is, for me, where I need to be. It's therapeutic. It's an outlet. So I felt more comfortable feeling like, okay, well, if I have the opportunity to create, then I could do that. So what that brings us to now is that I put some money into having a home studio so that I could write and record as I wanted to and as I was comfortable with, and I could build as opposed to spending money on studio time and then having to have everything ready 100% to go in, or to spend the astronomical amount of money to go in the studio and write in the studio. Um, what if I could just do it at home? So that's where we are. So I decided that as the time that I had and what I could put into it, why don't I just build a studio? So here we are. Heebie Jeebie Studios, named after something my dad gave me at one point in time, is what I'm doing. So I'm trying to write and record and build everything piece by piece and put out new music. Now, going back to this decision was based off of songs that I have in my repertoire from the past 20 years. So whether it be acoustic band or the Made Up Romance or Back Alley Arson or the Romance 2.0 when we came back together, there's all these songs that have been written, and some of them are songs that just never got recorded. Some of them are songs that just that nobody's ever heard. Some of them are songs that maybe have got heard, but they just didn't get their day in the sun. So it's all over the board. So some of them are maybe a melancholy acoustic track, maybe something's heavy with breakdowns, and it's all over the board. So when I started trying to work out this new project, calling it All Things Considered again, which was what the initial idea was, is I'll just do an acoustic record again, and I'll call it All Things Considered, and I'll just put out my third record as All Things Considered. It just didn't feel right because it didn't feel cohesive as a record. There's too many songs from too many different styles that just didn't make sense. So what I decided to do was change the name uh, from All Things Considered to Vandiford. Now, the Vandiford thing comes from where my father lived when he passed away. Not only was it the name of the street that he lived on, but it's also a family name of his best friend who helped him out in his one of his worst times. So he lost his house, the house that I grew up in, and everything, pretty much everything he owned in Hurricane Matthew. And what saved him and it gave him a safe haven was his his best friend Sam, who gave him a place to go to kind of restart his life. And this being even after he lost my mother. So the Vandiford came from a family name of his best friend and also the name of the road that he passed away living on, which was Vandiford Thomas Road in Greene County. So Vandiford was kind of a way for me to pay tribute to my father, as well as kind of shedding the old skin and I guess in a way kind of cleansing my palate and and moving forward. So when I realized that putting all these songs on one album wasn't going to make sense because it was going to be too broad and too weird to just put everything together. What I decided was I'll embark on this journey one song at a time, and I'll make it an anthology not only of just different songs and genres of whatever it is that I'm doing, but I'll make it a a anthology of the process. So me building this studio and trying to begin to write and record or rewrite and record these songs myself is one thing. I mean, I've been in the studios before. I know how to track music, but I'm not a producer and I'm not an engineer. So back in March, I started recording my first song. And when I started recording that first song, I immediately realized that I had no clue what I was doing. And I still wanted to go forward with it, and I finished tracking it. I mixed it, I mastered it. It sounded really damn good to me, but I knew it wasn't radio quality, but I knew that eventually I could get there. So my original plan was to record one single, put it out, get the buzz going again, get circulating that, all things considered was going to be a thing again. And then I decided to change the name. And then I decided that putting out a single and then putting out a whole album of songs that are not cohesive, that doesn't make sense, was not the best idea. So like I said earlier, the cleansing of the palate. I felt like what I should do, and what I'm going to do going forward, is record each song as it happens. And I will build on it, and I will piece it together, and I will mix it and master it as it comes out. And then hopefully what you'll see and hear is that each song gets better and better and better. So from the anthology aspect of it is that you'll hear it, and then the next song will get better, the next song will get better, the next song will get better. And as far as the cleansing the palette aspect of it, is that each song comes from a different point over the past 20 years. Each song means something, and it may be an acoustic song only, it may be a full band song with breakdowns in it, and it's heavy as shit. But as opposed to putting all that crap together in one album that doesn't make sense, I'll just put everything out as one single until I have exhausted my catalog. And then once I've exhausted my catalog, then I am forced to do nothing but write completely new original music. And that's the plan. So I appreciate everyone for watching this video. If you stuck through it for the past 14 minutes, then I appreciate it. Going forward, where we're at today, Vandiford has released our first single, Back to You, came out today. Well, yesterday at this point. Friday, July 17th, 2020, Vandiford's first single, Back to You, came out. Back to You is a song that I wrote during the second version of the Made-Up Romance. It's a song about being on the road. It's about being in that grind of being out on the road and touring and playing shows and just wanting to be back home. That's essentially what it's about. And I hope that you guys will listen to it. I hope you enjoy it. Um, Again, this is the first song that I've recorded and put out on my own. So I've got two tracks that are still being recorded right now. I have one that's actually in the mixing and mastering stage that'll hopefully be out in the next month, and the other two hopefully will come out in the month after that. Um, I'm really just taking my time, trying to pace myself, trying to learn. I mean, I'm producing and engineering this stuff all on my own, so I have no clue what I'm doing. But hopefully this will be a process that we can all grow with together. I hope you enjoy it. All I can ask is that please like like the Facebook page, follow me on Facebook, share the YouTube channel. Just share all of it, because today we had over 400 people touched with the posts that I put out this morning when the song hit, and that's the biggest reaction that I've had so far, and it's amazing. I have no expectations out of this, but to hopefully uh, have some people hear a song that they enjoy. Um, uh, I have no inclinations on being on the road and gigging again. I can't do that anymore. With my career and my family and home life, that I'm not willing to sacrifice. But what I can do is continue to try and put out some good music that hopefully you all will enjoy. Um, Please give it a listen. Please give it a share, a follow, a subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Um, if I knew how to do some art, I'd be like, subscribe right here, and then it would happen. But I don't know how to do any of that shit. So anyway, I appreciate your time. If you watch this, it's just under 20 minutes. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. I just really hope that you enjoy some of the music that's to come. Please check out Back to You on Spotify, iTunes, and all streaming platforms, Amazon Music, so on and so forth. Um, all of you, be safe, be well, and love one another. Peace.